Hello, this is Grant Francis, and thanks for joining me for another episode of Grant Francis Does a Podcast. Today, we enter the world of A.A. Milne and 100 Acre Woods. Disney's Winnie the Pooh, a new musical stage adaptation created by Jonathan Rockefeller, is coming to touring theatres across the UK, and you'll find it at the Mayflower Theatre in Southampton from the 31st of May 2023. Disney's iconic Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin and their best friends, Piglet, Eeyore, Kangaroo, Rabbit and Owl, oh, and don't forget Tigger too, have come to life in this beautifully crafted musical stage adaptation. To find out more about the show, I've been speaking to Alex Cardall, who plays Tigger. Alex, tell me a little bit about you. Acting, performing, music, it's in your blood, and it has been since you were very young.
It really was. I think I was probably the age of 5 or 6 when my dad bought me a drum kit and a karaoke machine. And I think those are the two things that I just sort of started going on with and ended up probably, really very loud household. An only child with, luckily 2 bedrooms, and one of them was the music room and sort of just exploration of artistry and whatnot. But yeah, it was a real kind of celebration of music and acting, and I just started doing amateur dramatics in Birmingham. So I grew up in Solihull in the West Midlands, and I was doing my Amdram at the Hippodrome, and then I was also drumming for jazz bands and things at school, and then I joined the Midland Youth Jazz Orchestra as the drummer, run by John Ruddock when I was about 16, and that was the band that my dad played in when he was a trumpeter in the 70s, and then was also doing singing, acting and dancing at the same time, and just got to the point of 17, 18 where I was like, I have to make a choice, like which do I do, singing and music or acting, and I just went, I'm going to do both. So I just basically went and did drama school, but was also paying my rent doing a jazz trio at the Drayton Arms pub in Kensington. So I was been able to do both and have continued to do both right the way up until now. So yeah, acting, music, singing, dancing, all that. I just, love it.
You've had quite a glittering career already. You've been in Evita and another few things. Just tell me a bit about what it's like to be up on stage performing these huge classic, brilliant musicals.
Yeah, I mean it's an absolute privilege to do those shows that not only have been going for a very long time, but also have been reimagined. So the great thing about that production of Evita was at the Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. It was the Jamie Lloyd's company show, and we were on a huge set of stairs. And you kind of think, how's this going to work with a cast? But we were just dancing on a massive set of staircase, and it was a real privilege to be a part of that. And I think the fact that it's new imaginings of classics is what I love. I did a show last year. I played Andy Williams in The Osmonds, and that was another sort of what you'd expect to be a musical that's been going for years and years and years, but it was a brand new musical. And I think, we're still kind of off the back end of the pandemic, really. I think people are only really just firmly back to the theatre now, and there's a level of confidence that people are getting back, which is really important. But certainly doing the show last year and watching these people come back and having such a great time, you just see the audience's reaction. And I think that's probably why I'm doing it, really, is to give people a great night at the theatre. I think that's why we do it. And I think Winnie the Pooh, that I'm currently working on at the Riverside in Hammersmith, is a really, really good testament to that, is that you'll get the young kids that come and watch the show, but you also get the adults that didn't expect to have a tear in their eye at the end, because there's an element of nostalgia there. But it's a very special show to be a part of at the moment. It really is.
Now, you are bringing Winnie the Pooh to the Mayflower Theatre in Southampton, and Jonathan Rockefeller has reimagined the whole A.A. Milne world, but yet still with that Disney feel to it. But it's not a stage show as you'd expect. You're not dressed up as the characters. It's singing, it's dancing, it's acting, but it's also puppetry as well.
Yeah, it literally does everything. And I think Jonathan's done a wonderful job of reimagining, but also staying so true to the original texts and the original films that we all grew up watching and listening to. And I think it's honestly just a show of us playing with toys really for an hour and 10 minutes, but it's also so much more than that. I think a lot of people that have come to see the show are like, do I look at the actor or do I look at the puppet? And there's an element of puppetry that we've all had to kind of learn. I've never done puppetry before doing this show, so this was a completely new experience for me. But you basically sort of channel yourself through the puppet, and I think is an element of sort of bringing your own identity to each individual character, and that's very special. And that's what Jonathan's done, is he's made these wonderful puppets, and it's just a real beautiful thing to be a part of. It really is.
Now, you play one of the most iconic characters from Hundred Acre Woods, and that's Tigger. What is it like to play the Tigger that bounces?
Oh, it's incredible. It really is. It's it's just that high energy, that high burst every single time he comes out, and sort of he comes out kind of halfway through the winter section of the show. I won't reveal too much, but it is a real beautiful moment where you're sort of sitting there thinking, where is Tigger? You know, when's he going to come out? And he comes bounding out on stage, and bounces his way through the show. Pretty much bounces every single line. It's a real good fun thing to be a part of, and obviously you'll get the classic songs that people know and love, and it's just it's really exciting.
You don't just play Tigger, but the way the cast works is that you rotate through different shows, so you get to perform as different characters throughout the performance. How does that work for you?
Well, I mean, we have to fully grasp each individual character. So there's a certain show where myself or two of the other wonderful actors in the show play Eeyore, Owl and Rabbit within the one show, or Tigger. And also our wonderful swing or our wonderful cast member, Harry Boyd, who's absolutely amazing, covers Pooh as well as those other parts. Wow. So we're all just basically rotating on a general level, and that's really interesting because you can sort of bring your own flair to each one. But you come into work, you've got the schedule to hand, but sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who you're going to play, and that's quite fun, really, to just know not know what's going to happen. So yeah. Good.
Do you psych yourself up in different ways to play either Tigger or Eeyore?
100%. There's a level of energy beforehand. There's maybe a bigger breakfast for Tigger, and maybe a nice English breakfast cup of tea for Eeyore, that sort of like leads you into it, and you can sort of add that energy, and it definitely makes a difference when you're playing each part. Yeah, for sure.
It's not traditional theatre, I guess. It's
kind of billed as a stage adaptation, and I think it stays so truthful to it's a new musical stage adaptation, and it stays so truthful to what it originally was in the films and what you'd expect, but it also adds sort of a new nuance to it, without revealing too much. It kind of adds that element of nostalgia, but also the group of friends that come together, like, you know, Eeyore, who's always present and always there. You kind of really get a sense, particularly in this show, that no one's left out. Like, everyone's involved and everyone's part of this team. And I think with today's society about, you know, sort of the mental well-being of people and the disconnect maybe from social media and what that's causing and what's going on in the news, this is a real good escapism moment and a good moment for people to come watch this group of really good friends have a good time. I mean, I've had so many pals come and watch it, and they've just said, I've messaged my best mates immediately to not only tell them to come and watch the show, but just to say that I love them and I can't wait to see them. And I think that's really, really special of what we're giving to the people of London and indeed the UK very shortly.
I mean, it's not just a children's show, is it? You've said your friends come and see it, and they're not coming to see just because Alex is in the show. They want to come and see because of that nostalgic moment of, you know, growing up with Winnie the Pooh. I grew up with Winnie the Pooh movies. Yeah. It's a family show, but actually could a grown-up quite happily sit there and watch it?
100%, because we're all kids, aren't we? We're all kids. And I think particularly with the 6 o'clock shows, there's the later shows that we do, there are a lot less children to the 10:30 and the 11 o'clock shows. And it's a different show altogether. Like, the feel of it is different, the lines land differently. It's less about, oh, look at Tigger bouncing, and more about what he's saying and the sort of like ways that you could take certain things. I think there's a lot to be found in that, and there's a lot of play as an actor that we found. Like, each show's so different, but particularly with the different age ranges, it's a very exciting show to be a part of. It's almost giving an element of pantomime, but with an element of class, an element of nostalgia, and an element of musicality. It's a musical piece of theatre. And I think if you're into puppetry, if you're into Winnie the Pooh in general, or if you're into going to the theatre, this is definitely the show to come and see this summer.
Alex, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
I think you'd have to come and watch The Bouncin' in the Southampton Mayflower Theatre. It's the bestest place to be. Don't be so ridiculous.
Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, tubby little tubby all stuffed with...
Hello, this is Grant Francis outside the Mayflower Theatre in Southampton, waiting to go in to explore the world of A.A. Milne, 100 Acre Wood, and Winnie the Pooh. My co-presenter today is 7-year-old superstar Lily. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I am excellent and a little bit excited about what we are about to do.
Go into the Mayflower Theatre to see Winnie the Pooh.
You know the story of Winnie the Pooh better than anyone else, so tell me a little bit about who Winnie the Pooh is.
He's a yellow bear that loves honey.
And what about his friends? Has he got friends in 100 Acre Woods, or is he just there on his own?
He has friends.
Which is your favourite of Winnie the Pooh's friends?
The bunny.
Ah, Rabbit.
Who's your favourite Winnie the Pooh friend?
I think it either has to be Eeyore, because I can be a bit like Eeyore sometimes, but also Tigger. Tigger's bounce!
Oh my god, that was a really good impression.
Where would you bounce to in 100 Acre Woods?
I would bounce to the river to play Pooh Sticks.
Pooh Sticks? What are Pooh Sticks?
Pooh Sticks is when you throw a stick into the water and whoever gets their stick under the bridge first wins.
I know that game. I never knew it was called Pooh Sticks. Brilliant. Okay. The show is a brand new imagination of the show on stage with puppets and music. What are you most looking forward to about the performance?
To see Winnie the Pooh.
Cool. And we're not just seeing Winnie the Pooh. Apparently, they're doing a bit of what they call a grazing board. I think it's a bit of a picnic. What do you expect at a Winnie the Pooh themed picnic?
Honey.
Pots and pots of honey in sandwiches, in tea?
In tea.
Honey tea. All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
Oh, the wonderful things about Tiggers. It's Tiggers are wonderful things. The tops are made of the rubber. The bottoms are made of the spring. The bouncy, trouncy, flouncy, pouncy, fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful things about Tiggers is I'm the only one. I'm the only one.
We are inside the Empire Suite at the Mayflower Theatre, and we've been presented with what can only be described as a feast. Lily, what can you see on the grazing board?
Strawberries.
And?
Waffles.
And?
What's it?
And?
Dijon's.
I can see also lots and lots of Winnie the Pooh's favourite food.
Like honey?
Yeah, it's like honey. It's rather delicious. What is it? With a mouthful of food?
Delicious.
Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, tubby little tubby all stuffed with fluff.
An hour and 10 minutes later, we've seen Winnie the Pooh and his friends in 100 Acre Wood on stage at the Mayflower Theatre. Lily, what did you think?
It was amazing.
What was your favourite part of the whole play?
When Winnie the Pooh gets stuck in the tree.
Why did he get stuck in the tree?
Because he ate too much honey. I thought it was funny that Tigger got his numbers all mixed up.
Like what? What did he do wrong?
He said 1, 15, 17.
Well, that's counting to 3, is it not?
No, don't be silly.
What did you think of the characters, that they were puppets with actors behind them?
Amazing. They were incredible.
What would you say to somebody that was thinking about coming to see the show?
It's the perfect half-term treat.
Would you go and see it again?
Yeah.
What, now?
No.
What are we going to do now then?
Let's go have honey sandwiches.
That sounds like a perfect idea. If you want to see Winnie the Pooh, it's on stage at the Mayflower Theatre throughout half-term. Find out more online. Just search Winnie the Pooh Stage Tour UK. And don't forget to get me in your feeds, like, follow and subscribe to Grant Francis UK. From myself, Grant Francis, and my super co-host, Lily, it's...
Thank you and goodbye.
Willy-nilly, silly,